Now, teaching about tolerance to the very youngest children in school. The lessons are certainly not new, but in some communities, they're taking on a new urgency and relevance in the wake of deep racial divides, social tensions, and violence around the country. Special correspondent Kat Wise visits a pair of noteworthy programs in California. It's for our weekly series, Making the Grade.
We're going to take out the mirror now, we're going to look at ourselves, and we're going to make our own face.
In this Alameda, California preschool, a box of crayons with a multitude of colors is helping little kids learn big lessons.
So put your hand and decide what you think is the best suited for you.
Teacher Tiffany Battle asks the children to look carefully at their own skin color and their classmates' skin colors.
Let's put our hands in.
To notice differences and similarities.
I'm black and white.
The art project is just one of many ways children are introduced to an anti-bias curriculum here at the Child Unique Montessori School, a private tuition-funded program.
Okay, so go ahead and color your skin in.
Cindy Acker is the school's founder and principal.
Within any color of someone's skin, there are many, many different colors, and so we want them to appreciate the diversity within their own individuality. And then we want them to be able to see and question other children's differences.
If you add this lighter color to it, what do you think is going to happen?
It's going to be lighter.
Yeah. We're different on the outside, but inside we have lungs, we have a heart, we have a mind, and that's the same.
Talking about racial differences is not new at the school. Acker started the program more than 30 years ago, and it was among the first of its kind in the country to focus on diversity and inclusion at such an early age. But she says the curriculum seems more important than ever.
To me, the things that are going on in the world today give us an indication that we need a major shift in how we perceive people, how we honor people, how we treat people. And because I'm a firm believer that it begins at the preschool level, I think that that's where we need to start. Sophie, are you going to make it out?
Acker points to racial divides witnessed in recent events like the violent neo-Nazi protests in Charlottesville, Virginia, the police shootings of black men, and the debate over NFL players taking a knee to protest racism.
What we have seen is a resurfacing or a surfacing of what we thought was absent but sits within the psyche of some individuals.
One thing I've been seeing is
Louise Sturman Sparks has written several books about teaching anti-bias to preschoolers.
The truth is that young children notice differences very early. By the age of 3 and 4, they're asking questions. They're beginning to develop and to absorb the stereotypes and misinformation, discomforts. Don't like to call it prejudices. It's kind of like pre-prejudice. So the myth that they aren't noticing, the idea of being colorblind, actually harms kids.
Derman Sparks says preschool teachers who talk about the differences and similarities among their students create an environment where misinformation and fears can be addressed.
For instance, if you have dolls of different types and a child refuses to play with a doll that's got dark skin, teacher can say, how come you don't want to play with so-and-so? And depending on what the child says, you can then decide to help overcome whatever the discomfort is.
We are all different.
That's exactly the atmosphere teacher Francesca Conterno hopes to create for her students at a public preschool.
Look at this boy. What's different about his eyes compared to his? His eyes are blue, yes. His eyes are blue, and I see Mariana's got blue eyes. And you made blue eyes in your picture up there. What about Kim? What color are Kim's eyes?
Black.
Yeah, they're definitely black.
Conterno teaches 3- and 4-year-olds in the Hayward Unified District.
Someone might hear about a program like this and think, gosh, race and racism or highlighting differences, that's not something that should be done in a classroom, especially a preschool classroom. How would you respond?
I would say, why not? It's the perfect setting. It is absolutely the perfect setting. We have families in the classroom. It's a safe place. People develop relationships. Perfect setup for honest conversations.
Conterno does not ask children directly about fears or misconceptions about race. Instead, she believes materials that highlight equality can provide a powerful message in the classroom. Derman Sparks agrees.
If most of the books show white people and very few show people of color, then that's a message for the teachers are white, or if the teacher's white, but the assistants are always people of color. These are all messages to kids about who matters, who's visible, who's not, who has power.
Conterno sees the sometimes uncomfortable questions children do ask about race and gender as teachable moments.
Too many times you see in classrooms, teachers will respond to that by play nice or we're all friends in here, when it's a perfect opportunity to go a little bit deeper.
So you see how like we have one shade of brown, we have even a lighter shade here, right? We have all of these different colors. So I have a feeling there's probably more than two, right?
How was your day? You want to do the swinging?
Back at the Child Unique Montessori School, parent Shawnee Keck says she chose the program for her 3 children because of its strong focus on equity and social justice. But she says her husband did have questions about the anti-bias curriculum.
I have a tall white husband, and he was absolutely concerned, especially for our son who was in the elementary school, saying, you know, does this make him feel worse? Does this make him feel like he might be, you know, somebody that should be feeling bad about his whiteness? And I don't think so. I don't think it's not pie, you know, just because you have a piece doesn't mean somebody else doesn't get a piece.
They said you can mix colors. Did you like that?
Amitra Mamdui also chose the school for its focus on diversity, but she points out that for 2-, 3-, and 4-year-olds, the conversation is kept very simple.
Of course, you don't start talking about the new Jim Crow or prison industrial complex. You're not starting that at a young age, but just to recognize that, okay, different colors exist because of melanin, and this is natural, and we're all different, but we're also similar. We bleed, we cry, we love.
Light a candle for peace, light a candle for love.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Kat Wise in Alameda County, California.